My friends, today marks the day of something very special indeed. As you know, I'm on a mission to ride and document the best mountain bike trails in the UK, showing you the very best of what our country has to offer. Every trail has a story, every ride an adventure, and I'm here to document it all for you. But a trail can't be ridden without a bike. For the past 7 years and the bike I started my journey on, I've been riding this, my 2018 Marin Attack Trail 8. I'm sure we all have one, but this is the bike that has a special place in my heart. I've had some of the best rides of my life on this bike. Unfortunately, the time has come to finally move on. I've outgrown and outridden this bike, so it's time for a new chapter and a new adventure to begin. This is my brand new Yeti SB140, and it's going to be the bike that I ride the best mountain bike trails in the UK on. There's nothing quite like taking a brand new bike out of the box, unwrapping all the bubble wrap and cardboard, seeing the brand new components for the first time before building it all up, which is probably the easiest process of all time. I bought this bike off of TYRE, who are an online and retail based bike shop in Canterbury. They gave fantastic advice before I purchased this bike and also set it up and tuned it up for my weight and riding style. So why the SB140 out of all the hundreds of bike brands and bikes out there? Well, this bike is built to ride everything. It's your go anywhere, do anything machine. Technical descents, big climbs, big jumps, this bike can handle it all. Considering I'm going to be riding a variety of terrain on my adventures around the UK, riding the best mountain bike trails, this made perfect sense to me. There's so many bikes on the market these days that are specific to one discipline and that discipline only. This bike covers all grounds. I don't want to have 3 bikes and have to think about, oh, which bike am I going to ride when I'm planning a ride? No, it's always going to be this one. Is Yeti's Switch Infinity system just marketing hype? No. It actually works. I've already taken this bike for its maiden voyage and it gives you plush, bottomless feeling suspension, but phenomenal support on the climbs. Somehow it makes climbing snappy and efficient. There's no excess energy put in whatsoever to get up even the toughest of climbs. The best way I can describe it is it's a bit like having a slice of cake, eating it as well while riding up a wall. The SB140 feels fun and forgiving without feeling boring due to their phenomenal design and geometry. It's playful enough so that you can jib and jump all over the trail to your heart's content, but when the rough stuff appears, you can just plow straight through it, not a problem at all. I'll probably start hitting features that I would have otherwise chickened out of on other bikes. Are Yeti a company to mass produce bikes to the lowest common denominator for the most amount of profit? No. They build bikes riders actually want to ride. The bikes are built with premium materials, tested properly in brutal conditions, I'm sure, but most importantly, by people who live and breathe bikes. It's really assuring as a rider that I'm going to be riding something that it really is top of its class in terms of design, quality, and status. Let's be honest, Yeti bikes look absolutely incredible. Rolling up to a trailhead on a Yeti is a bit like rolling up to a classic car meet in an old Porsche. People notice, people nod, you feel great. You feel even better once you get the thing out on the trail, I can assure you of that. I went for the frame in the colour smoke as much as I would have liked to go for their famous turquoise blue colour scheme. I thought I'd get a little bit bored of it after a couple of months, and who wants to be spray painting a really expensive carbon frame? No one. This way I can go full stealth mode, I can go white decals, black decals, little details here and there just to really make the bike pop and look really smart. Now I went for the Yeti SB140 Lunch Ride Edition, which simply means I've got a 160mm fork instead of the 150mm on the standard 140 frames. It's longer, slacker and beefier too, and it gives off a more enduro style riding position. It's a little bit like this bike has had a double espresso and is ready to tear down whatever you throw at it. I'm 183 centimeters tall, so I'm around about 6 foot. I'm in a bit of an odd zone when it comes to sizing. The Minion was in a size large, but towards the end, that did get a bit too small for me. My knees kept knocking against the bars when I was going up switchback turns, up ascents. I've gone for the Yeti in a large, even though I'm at the lower range of the scale for the sizing. It's a perfect fit, but I think the only thing that I might change is I might change the 50mm stem out to a 35mm stem for a more direct feel and just to bring the reach in just a little bit. I'm super happy with the components that came on this bike. I went for the GX Eagle transmission. Do you need EXO or EXO-1 Eagle? Probably not, unless you have the money and you're really worried about an extra 250 grams. I've got the Fox Performance 36 fork and a Fox Float X rear shock. So far, no bottomless tokens in either, but I'm sure that's something I will play around with soon. A massive upgrade from the Minion is a 200mm dropper post from 1UP Components. I feel like some droppers can restrict your movement somewhat on the descents. If the saddle doesn't drop low enough, you're not going to have the freedom to move around on the bike. But then it's a balancing act between the lowest point your saddle can go and also your pedaling height. This 200mm drop really is the best of both worlds. I'm running a full Burgtec cockpit on this bike. I've never before used Burgtec products, so I'm excited to fully test these out, although typically I do prefer a 25 to 30mm rise on my bars instead of the 20mm rise that came with these. We'll just have to see how it goes in the next couple of rides, just to see whether I do indeed go for a higher rise, more of an aggressive feel, or I stick with the 20mm. Who knows, I might really like it. I've got DT Swiss wheels with this bike. Do I really need to say any more on that? They're paired with a Maxxis Assegai with Exo Plus casing on the front and a DHR2 with Exo Plus casing as well on the rear. I believe this tyre combination is really popular at the moment with the EWS guys, so I'm really excited to try and see where the limits of these tyres are. It's always nice when a good wheel set and tyre combination are paired with good brakes. I've got SRAM codes on this bike and they're not 100% fully bedded in quite yet. I was talking to the guys over at the Afan Valley Bike Shed and they said it takes about 50 hours for your brakes to completely bed in. I think I'm going to bite the bullet and invest in a frame protection kit for this bike. It'll be such a shame if a stone or a rock came and flew and chipped away at the frame, especially as repairing carbon frames is a lot more expensive than alloy. It's just the question of, do I get the full frame protected or do I just go for the trouble areas, such as the down tube and the head tube? I can't wait to get rid of these crappy Amazon rubber jobbies that are protecting my head tube at the moment from cable rub. I just hate them. If you're a proper bike geek and want a full components list, I will leave that in the description for you to indulge in, but I really cannot wait to ride the best mountain bike trails in the UK on this bike. The full video of which I take my bike on its maiden voyage will be out next week, a battle of the elements up at Breccia Forest, of which for the first time I am not riding alone. But until then, thank you so much for joining me once again, and I'll see you on the next ride.